Sorry that I did this. The blood is on my hands. I stare at my reflection. I don't know who I am. Practice my confession. In case I take the stand, I'll say I learned my lesson. I'll be a better man. I'm packing up my things and I'm wiping down the walls. I'm rinsing off my clothes and I'm walking through the halls. I did it all for her, so I felt nothing at all. I don't know what she'll say, so I'll ask her when she calls. Would you love me more if I killed someone for you? Would you hold my hand? Would you hold my hand? Let the secrets that I refused. Will I kill someone for you?
First, we're going to start off with a full face of makeup, but nothing on our forehead. Then, dipping into the Ben 9 Nose and Scar Wax, I'm going to get out more than what I need and take away as I need to later. I'm going to keep that in a ball in my hand to warm it up and make it more pliable while I add Ben 9 prosthetic adhesive to my forehead. This is a Pros-Aide, so you have to let it dry completely before adding any prosthetics, which in this case is going to be the wax for my forehead. It's very important that you have a clean forehead for this so everything stays stuck down really well. After all of it's dry, I'm just going to mash that on my forehead in kind of the shape that I want it to be, which is basically my entire forehead. Then I'm going to take some alcohol. This is 99% alcohol, but you can use any percent alcohol that you have, and that just helps the wax not stick to your fingers, and it will help you smooth the edges down to blend it more seamlessly. If you have seams, which you'll see later I do, it's okay because we cover that up with a little bit of blood splatter. Now I'm just going to take as much away as I need to. I'm kind of looking like Frankenstein right now, but that's okay. And then just mush it down with your fingers and swirl it around with that alcohol. This process takes a very long time to get it blended. Remember, you want it to be super shallow on the edges or thin on the edges and thicker in the middle because you still want it to look like you've carved into your face. But this does take a long time and a lot of smooshing around. So once you smooth it all down and get it kind of where you want it to be, you may have to take off some excess now and again, and it kind of seems like I was never done with this process. So I just keep smoothing with the alcohol. And any tools that you use that you might want to smooth it down with, like this spatula, you'll want to dip into alcohol so the wax doesn't stick to that. Because whenever everything is covered in wax, it's a huge pain.
You have to understand that the one I killed is me. Changing what I was for what you wanted me to be. I followed your direction, did everything you asked. I hope it makes you happy.
When I got the wax pretty much the way I wanted it, so semi-smooth, I took some Pros-Aide and glued down the edges. Not only does that help cover up your seams, but it's also going to keep it stuck down because the edges come up pretty easily whenever you touch them. But remember, it doesn't have to be perfect because we are going to be carving into it and messing it up. So there's no point in it being super smooth. You should still try to get it as smooth as possible, but you don't have to spend 3 hours smoothing your forehead. It's going to be okay. And again, we'll do the blood splatter. And just like before with the Pros-Aide, we want it to dry completely. Then I just powdered it just to make sure it wasn't going to stick to anything. And it also helps blend in with your skin with the rest of your face if you use face powder. But again, we're going to put some blood on there, so it's going to change the color anyway. Now I'm taking a much thinner spatula and I'm just carving out where I want my letters to be really shallow, just in case I need to go back and change stuff. I actually got it pretty good the first time. You don't want it to be uniform, you want it to be like really weird because I don't know about you, but when I'm carving words into my own forehead, it's pretty hard to get precise, you know what I mean? So go ahead and make it really irregular and kind of make some of the lines crisscross and just really, really messy. Almost like you went at it with a box cutter or something. And because I can never leave well enough alone, I'm going in with the back of that spatula dipped in some alcohol and smoothing out the edges even further. Now I'm taking some water activated paint by Ben Nye and some MAC Fix Plus. It can easily be water, anything you really want. Setting spray is fine. And I'm just going in and carving out those letters a little more and putting some blood inside of them.
Just let me explain. No, I wouldn't tell you lies. I know you'll understand if you let me stay the night. Would you love me more if I killed someone for you? Would you hold my hand? There's a scene was that I used.
Okay, picking up my Fresh Scab Blood by Ben Nye. I know it seems like Ben Nye is probably sponsoring this video, but trust me, they're not. But if Ben Nye's interested, have your people call my people. I don't have people. Anyway, getting back to this. I'm taking the Fresh Scab Blood and a curved sewing needle, which is not my first choice, by the way. I just couldn't find my toothpicks at the time. I'm putting that in various spots of every letter, but I'm keeping some of it looking more shallow and a little deeper. The darker the blood is, the deeper the cut looks.
Would you love me more if I killed someone for you? Would you hold my hand? There's a scene was that I used when I killed someone for you.
Okay, so I finally found my toothpicks, which work out so much better because obviously they're made of wood. They can pick up the product much better, and then whenever you put it into the cut, you can roll it, and it really just comes off better and looks way more realistic. So, use toothpicks. Okay, now I'm actually going to use some blood gel that I bought from the Spirit Halloween store, and I'm just going to stipple that all over my lettering, not pressing too hard because you don't want to put indentions in your forehead. We might as well go ahead and add some blush to get those little rosy cheeks. Even though we've just killed someone, we can still look nice. Now I'm taking the same Scab Blood by Ben Nye and I'm putting that on top of my red eyeliner because I kind of want it to look like I've carved my eyeliner in, if that makes any sense. I know I'm a little off camera here and it's super hard to see, but I was working with the toothpick around my eyeball. Okay, so I just put on some nude lipstick. I'm going to take that blood gel from Spirit and I'm going to add a few blood drops because let's face it, when you're carving stuff into your forehead, I imagine that there's a few blood drops here and there. Not too much blood because you don't want to cover up all of your work and make it look too gory. You just want it to be bloody enough to kind of sell the look.
Sirens coming, I see the flashing lights. I'm driving through the suburbs, wearing my disguise. I show up at her doorstep to look her in the eyes. I tell her that it's me.
Now I'm going to be putting in these really awesome eye blood drops from Krylon. All you do is put 1 to 2 drops in each eye and you too can cry blood. They're a really cool product. Just make sure you don't touch the dropper to your eye because of bacteria. Alright guys, this is pretty much the finished look. I really hope that you enjoyed watching me create this. It was a really fun look. If you liked it, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and hit that notification bell so you know when I upload. Alright guys, thank you so much. Bye!
Here, Squirrely Whirly, look what I have for you. Come on, little Squirrely, take the nice peanut. Ooh, now I have a cute little Squirrely Whirly to pet and love and cherish and squeeze. I'll take you home and lock you in a nice little cage and never ever let you out except to pet you and love you and hug you and squeeze you